Last year in the Doug's experimental baseball tournament, we fielded a team of 25 offensive legends that also had to figure out how to take the mound. There were some embarrassing moments as the likes of Alex Rodriguez and Barry Bonds got on the bump, but today's games probably includes the worst relief performance we've seen in a Doug's tournament thus far. Get ready to soak in the sham. Game 1 for the Black Sox had us all wondering if they were actually on the level this time around as they out-hit Club Snub 12-9, but 2 errors made by the squad translated into a 4-run loss. We're going to poke that idea further and see if they've gotten back on the level as today they travel to the arid desert that the Tucson Too Soons call home. To bounce back and get that first win, however, they're going to need to solve Sandy Koufax, who was so good that he was the first man off the draft board at the ripe young age of 72 for the inaugural Israeli baseball draft. It was an honorary pick, and Koufax turned it down, but to be fair, it was still a better draft pick than Johnny Manziel. The Modine Miracle is the team that drafted him, and may want to consider. After an uneventful first, he's in trouble here in the second. Eddie Collins singles with 1 out, followed by Buck Weaver getting hit by a pitch. Swede Risberg keeps the rally going with another single, and Collins is going to come around to score. Dickie Kerr has a clutch 2-out single to bring a second run home, and Nemo Leibold brings home a third. So the Black Sox are strong out of the gate and have a 3-0 advantage. The comfortable cushion doesn't last long, however, as Nomar Garciaparra comes up with a man on base and someone call Gwen Stefani and whoever the hell the other guys are, because that one's a no-doubter. 1-run ball game. Back and forth we go as the top of the third sees the Black Sox getting one of those runs back. Eddie Collins, owner of one of the crucial errors from the Sox's previous game, looks to be apologizing with his bat. This will go for a double, scoring Happy Felsch from second. It doesn't stay this hot and heavy. In fact, we're still at 4-2 entering the 8th. Both pitchers settled down and started dealing as by day's end, Dickie Kerr would have accounted for 10 strikeouts, while Koufax had 7. Koufax comes out in the 8th, however, as his previous struggles left him at 124 pitches thrown. Chris Carpenter comes in, and Carpenter he might be, but your guess is as good as mine as to what he's building. It's sure as hell not a solid outing, as that is a 2-run home run for Ray Schalk, and the Black Sox have extended their lead to 6-2. Solid or not, that's not the relief appearance we were teasing at the beginning of this video. No, that honor is going to go to the Black Sox's Charlie Robertson. He's the owner of a 1922 perfect game, but it's said his arm was never the same after that outing. Players held in high regard have a tendency of sticking around in baseball in some capacity. Charlie? Well, as he revealed on the television show What's My Line, after baseball he bought and sold nuts. To set the stage, Dickie Kerr started the inning but had to come out after walking 2 out of the first 3 hitters, while Freddie Sanchez led off the inning with a single. So, bags are loaded and the Sox need some relief to hold on to the lead. The first hitter is Tony Conigliaro. Oh, nuts. That is a grand slam and the game is tied. Jackie Robinson's up next, and yes, he can. Tucson grabs the lead 7-6. Following him, it's Josh Hamilton, and the only nut that Robertson will be seeing now is the pine nut, as he comes in, allows 3 straight home runs, and then is banished to the bench. Rick Ankiel comes in the 9th, and those yips still seem like they're banished as he goes ahead and closes this one out. So, Charlie Robinson has thrust us out of our comfort zone and into the realm of irrational numbers, as he currently sits at an infinite ERA, and he eats the loss here. Tucson hits 4 home runs on the day, highlighted by Conigliaro's grand slam. In fact, the entire trilogy of hitters that went back to back to back all recorded multiple hits. Tucson down 6-2, ride a 6-run 8th inning to victory, and now stand at 2-0. Let's see if Club Snub can join them at 2-0, or if the Expos are going to scratch out their first win. Hamish?
Johnny, today's Game 2 sees the 1994 MLB strike victims, the Expos, take on Club Snub, a team loaded with Hall of Fame talent that for some reason didn't get in the Hall of Fame. Marquis Grissom channels Boz Scaggs to start this one, because it's a lead-off run for a man that has had a decent major league career but absolutely peaked in college, hitting a ridiculous .405 over his Florida A&M career and also pitching multiple complete games. Coincidentally, 405 is the approximate number of people in Grissom's family tree, as he had 15 siblings and 5 children of his own. The man grew up in Red Oak, and with 15 siblings, I can only assume that name was a euphemism for his father. Oh, sorry, the video's moved on to the next play, and it's now top of the 4th, and it's Wil Cordero, treating that baseball like it's his former wife, and batters it out of the park. Okay, I do realise that's a cheap and easy joke, and I promise there will be no more mention of Wil Cordero's 1997 assault and battery of his wife, and I'm sure when he's next up I'll have something completely different to talk about. Let's move to the bottom of the 6th and see some snub hitters for a change. They've been largely absent so far, with Expo's pitcher Jeff Fassero cruising along, having surrendered only 2 hits through 5. Allen is a key first out, and then Bill Darlin, that's just not good enough. A fly out means it looks like another scoreless inning, but Jeff can't be having that, and he singles. The intimidating presence of his moustache then draws a pick-off error, and he's in scoring position. Todd then gives the ball Helton, and it's now 2-1. We're not done there though. Bravo to Jim Edmonds, star of Real Housewives of Orange County, for extending the inning with a walk, and that gives Reggie Smith a chance to tie it. However, Reggie Smith was once described by Tommy John as a man who will play his fanny off, an oxymoron in the UK, but a compliment here, and Smith backs it up with a 2 RBI double and club snub lead for the first time in this game. Like someone with a crush on their chiropractor, Fassero is not leaving after the stretch. Fassero took 7 years from being drafted to make his debut, so as a player he got better with time. This is not the case in this game though. After a strong first 5 innings and a bad 6th, Fassero is not going to make it out the 7th. Scott is rolling to first base with a walk, then Bill Freehan singles to get men at first and second. Freehan was the author of a book entitled Behind the Mask, which I can only assume is the novelisation of the 2006 slasher movie starring one of the kids from Home Alone. He's not alone on the bases as Evan walks to load them. No outs and the first 3 men have reached. Maybe time for a pitching change? Not until Darlin has hit a 2-run double. Then Alou makes a pitching change while teaching everyone an important lesson about horses and barn doors. It's all too late. Jeff Kent's having a good game and singles to drive home another, which brings up Todd Helton. Helton was once accused of juicing by Cards commentator Wayne Hagen, and when Helton threatened legal action, Hagen explained he was only using the word juicing to mean vitamin supplements. So given the word can apparently mean anything now, Helton is clearly juicing here, and I am of course using the word juicing to refer to an RBI fielder's choice. Rich comes in to close the game out. Not a save situation, but he's in a rush to get this over with. First, Larry Walker is down on strikes, and here's Wil Cordero again. But he strikes out, putting up less of a fight than he did in 1999 when he was arrested following a fight with his wife's ex. Look, again, these are cheap jokes, so from now on, no mention of his 1997 arrest or his 1999 arrest. Darren Fletcher strikes out swinging, and that's game over. Just like it was for Wil Cordero's career shortly after his 2002 domestic violence arrest. Bert Blyevlin quietly pitched a great game. I say quietly because I deliberately avoided pronouncing his name throughout the video. He went 6, only giving up 2. That's good for a win and a quality start. Home runs don't necessarily mean wins. Expo's got the only 2 long balls of the game but went down 7-2 to a club snub team that now tops their group. They're undefeated in Group B along with Tucson, and those 2 teams will meet in their next game. But before that though, next video we'll be heading to Group A. As you can see from the standings, the Pittsburgh Crawfords from the Negro Leagues remain undefeated, and they'll send Roosevelt Davis to the mound when they host Fernando Valenzuela and the 1-1 6 out of 5s. We'll also see the winless 81 Reds and Tom Seaver travel to take on Fergie Jenkins and the Diamonds in the Rough. As always, leave your predictions for those matchups in the comments, and best predictor at the end of the season will win a prize to be named later. I've been Hamish Hamden for the Dugs, and time for me to go before the Doug Sports Network starts our exclusive live broadcast of the 2002 Turtle Toss. Yes, it's the Shy Way to Shell next. Until then, the Dugs are closed.